The U.S. delegation to the ISO on encryption issues includes a handful of NSA officials, though it is controlled by an American standards body, the American National Standards Institute, ANSI. The presence of the NSA officials and former NSA contractor Edward Snowden's revelations about the agency's penetration of global electronic systems have made a number of delegates suspicious of the U.S. delegation's motives, according to interviews with a dozen current and former delegates. Asked if it could beat Simon and Spec encryption, the NSA officials said, "We firmly believe they are secure." The case of the dual elliptic curve in oral and written comments, opponents cited the lack of peer-reviewed publication by the creators, the absence of industry adoption or a clear need for the new ciphers, and the partial success of academics in showing their weaknesses. Some ISO delegates said much of their skepticism stemmed from the 2000s, when NSA experts invented a component for encryption called dual elliptic curve and got it adopted as a global standard. The ISO and other standards groups subsequently retracted their endorsements of dual EC. The NSA declined to discuss it. In the case of Simon and Spec, the NSA says the formulas are needed for defensive purposes. But the official who led the now disbanded NSA division responsible for defense, known as the Information Assurance Directorate, said his unit did not develop Simon and Spec. "There are probably some legitimate questions around whether these ciphers are actually needed," said Curtis Dukes, who retired earlier this year. "Similar encryption techniques already exist, and the need for new ones is theoretical," he said. ANSI, the body that leads the U.S. delegation to the ISO, said it had simply forwarded the NSA proposals to the organization and had not endorsed them. From Jaipur to Hamilton, some delegates had no objection. Chris Mitchell, a member of the British delegation, said he supported Simon and Spec, noting that no one has succeeded in breaking the algorithms. He acknowledged, though, that after the dual EC revelations, trust, particularly for U.S. government participants in standardization, is now non-existent. At a meeting in Jaipur, India, in October 2015, NSA officials in the American delegation pushed back against critics, questioning their expertise. Witnesses said, "How can we expect companies and citizens to use security algorithms from ISO standards if those algorithms come from a source that has compromised security-related ISO standards just a few years ago?" Wenzel-Benner asked. The proposal fell one vote short of the required two-thirds majority. Simon and Spec, aimed respectively at hardware and software, each have robust versions and more lightweight variants. The Americans agreed in Hamilton to compromise and dropped the most lightweight versions.